Yesterday, I did something that I've spent years telling parents not to do as a pediatric occupational therapist. And the reason why I tell parents not to do it is because it stops toddlers from playing independently. In this video, I'm going to tell you what that mistake was so that you can avoid making it yourself, as well as 2 other ways to get your toddler to play by themselves for way longer than they currently do. So, the mistake. My 2-year-old was sitting on the floor happily playing with her doll. She'd recently discovered that it can wee, so she's been mesmerized by that for days now. And I was sitting there enjoying a hot coffee, and without even thinking, I blurted out, "Wow, you and baby are having so much fun." And just like that precious moment of independent play vanished into thin air, along with my dreams of finishing that hot coffee. The mistake here was commenting while she was happily playing independently. Now, I know this sounds counterintuitive because after all, aren't we supposed to praise behaviors we want to see more of? Well, yes, but the thing is, timing is everything. When your child is deep in their own imaginative world, any kind of commentary, even positive like the simple thing that I said to my daughter, can instantly break their concentration and then shift their attention to you. And they love you, which is great, but now they just want to play with you, which then stops that independent play. So the next time your little one is happily playing without you, if you want them to continue playing by themselves, don't ask questions, don't comment, just sit back and watch, and save your questions and praise for after they're done playing. Now, this sounds easy in theory, but the reality is it's almost impossible if you don't have a safe space for them to play in. How can you possibly sit back and let them play if you have to constantly stop them touching things they shouldn't, and in my daughter's case, stopping her from climbing every single thing? Instead of staying quiet, you end up saying things like, "Be careful, don't touch that," or "Get down." This is why it's so important to create what we call a yes space. This is a child-proofed area where your toddler can safely explore and play without you having to watch them like a hawk. Now, don't worry, this doesn't mean that you need some fancy Pinterest-worthy playroom. It can be as simple as a gated area in your house, the corner of your living room, or even just a baby-proofed bedroom. When you create a yes space, 2 amazing things happen. 1, you can actually relax and just let them play without having to worry about their safety or things getting broken. And 2, your toddler can focus on playing without hearing no or be careful every few minutes. Now, I've mentioned the phrase be careful a couple of times now, so I want to add a quick note on that. It's actually a phrase that I recommend that you avoid wherever you can because it doesn't convey the message we intend. And put simply, there are just more effective alternatives that you can use instead. I put together a free resource for you with the alternatives to use, plus 7 other common phrases to rethink and what to say instead for those as well. So just click the link in the description to grab your copy. Now, there's one more thing that you can do that will dramatically increase the amount of time that your child spends playing independently. And this is a big one because for a lot of parents, it seems counterintuitive. It makes sense to assume that more toys means more things to play with. So if your child gets bored with one, they can just move on to the next toy and so on and so forth. And this should naturally lead them to playing for longer. But research shows us something different. In 2018, a study led by Dauch set up a simple experiment. They watched toddlers aged between 18 to 30 months play in 2 different scenarios. In one, the toddler had 16 toys to choose from, and in the other, they just had 4 toys. And what they discovered was that when the toddlers only had 4 toys, not only did they play for longer, but their play was also more creative and imaginative. So rather than more toys leading to more play, they actually played for longer, and that play was of a higher quality with fewer toys. Now, this makes perfect sense when you think about a toddler's developing brain. Toddlers are naturally curious about everything and they're still learning how to focus. So lots of toys means lots of potential distractions. They get drawn to one toy, but before they can really play with it, another exciting toy catches their eye and off they go. But fewer toys means fewer distractions. So instead of flitting from one toy to another every few minutes, they actually spend more time with each toy, discovering all the fun ways that they can play with it. So the next time you want your toddler to play independently, instead of surrounding them with all their toys, just give them 4. And to clarify, by 4 toys, I just mean 4 types of play experiences. So, for example, a set of pretend food counts as 1 toy, even though it has lots of pieces. And the same goes for a basket of building blocks. And to keep it interesting for your little one, just make sure that you rotate these toys every few days or when they're showing you signs that they're bored or sick of them. Now, these 3 strategies will help extend those stretches of time that your little one will play by themselves. But you might be watching this thinking, my toddler doesn't play by themselves at all yet. I can't get them to spend any time playing on their own. If that's you, don't worry, I've got you covered. In this video, I walk you through how to teach your toddler the skill of independent play, because it is a skill and it needs to be taught. So it's not a bad thing if your toddler can't do it yet. They just need to learn how. And this video will show you exactly how to teach them this skill.